All right. I should start this while the thing's not spinning. We got our little thrust test stand here, but I have turned it so that way it's blowing air this way. Got an anemometer. Oh, I should say this is the Western Michigan University Advanced Rocketry Club. It used to be called the Advanced Rocketry Committee, and that's when we were more committed to it being just a subsection of AIAA, but whatever. I'm going to click this guy on, measure the wind speed, and then actually before we do that, here's payload atop the rocket, on top of the payload bay, the payload ejection system. The ski will turn us on. You sit here for a little bit of time, we should hear a beep. It's got to go through and configure the radio first. There's our beep. Then we go into a 30-second countdown on configuration. So in that 30 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and get the airspeed of our little test in here. I'm 12.8 here. If I move it out here, I get about 10. If I move it out here, I get about 7. Turn it off. We'll move the payload through that. So 13, 10, 7 meters per second airspeed velocity. I think this thing should be, how long have I been recording? A minute 50 seconds? This thing should be all set to go. So we're in diagnostic mode. So there's a cable that's coming out of the payload that we can use to actuate it manually. So we hit this. This is put it into the pre-flight mode, which means it's going to wait for a 5G acceleration. That's the minimum acceleration of the rocket to qualify. So we're going to hit 5Gs, of course. And it's sampling at 30 hertz, but it's recording at 1 hertz. So it'll sample 30, but only record 1. That way it can catch the launch when it happens. Now we're going to go ahead and check the payload tube. So I'll go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to put it in flight. So then the next button I press is going to put us in the flight mode. So now it should be sampling and recording at 30 hertz. Now we've done that, I should be able to, the next sample mode would be to do the landing mode. So when I click this button, it will go into the landing mode. So when that happens is if it's on the ground and it's in a 1G acceleration field, consistent for 1 minute, or not 1 minute, 30 seconds, that way you couldn't confuse it with a flight condition of being slightly less than 1G, because while you like during your parachute landing. So 1G consistent for 30 seconds. Then it'll go into the transmit mode where we'll transmit on APRS the data points at 1 every 20 seconds for 5 minutes. So yeah, let's go and crack it open. We'll turn this off just like that. Crack this open. Fortunately, to recover the data, you got to take the whole thing. So, hope you're framing me in this very well. Rocket 4, CSU. This is the calibration stage. We have a pitot pressure, both the static and the dynamic pressure. Altitude in meters, that's calculated, that's the barrel altitude in meters. Velocity, obviously, was none because it was sitting still. Here we go through our calibration. Here it went through GPS. Oh, I should have hit another button in here. But, so this is, and then we hit in the flight mode. Continue down, and then we get varying amounts of speed. It looks like we got 15, 5, 8, 7, 11. Curious, maybe the sample rate of the thing's not quite lined up. But yeah, that's, let me view. So, page layout? Where do I freeze panes from? View. Navigation. Headings. Okay, where are you? Oh, there we go. Freeze panes. Freeze top row. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Unfreeze panes. Freeze panes. Top row. Timestamp, velocity in meters per second. So, and then we get our accelerations here. So like when I was holding it horizontally, we have the two I'd probably rotate it a little bit, so we've got two accelerations in X and Y that are that would add up to 0, or add up to 1 G, because I was holding it in my hands, and then very small amount in Z because I was holding it horizontally. And you can kind of see that in the gyro degrees here, although it should be better. I'm curious why. And then here's the latitude and longitude, GPS time. Obviously it doesn't work because we're in a metal building, and so the GPS is gonna have a hard time getting through that. But yeah, so it, for some amount of time, it's recording the velocity, and then I set it back down again, and then turn it off. So yeah, this is the flight, this is what the stage it is, and that's kind of how payload do.